Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news. A racist MAGA hat wearing attacker of all that is black and gay has won a competition in Chicago. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Oh, we're kind of light in the... Wow, where is everybody? Usually there's a bunch of people in here by now, but that's okay. I'm happy that those of you who are here. I see that Max Del Rio did the grand first this morning. Good morning, Max. Good morning, Zombie Teddy. Good morning, MC. Uh-oh. Can't touch this. MC, good to see you. So, maybe it's just because people are sick of me talking about Jussie Smollett, but I have all of Jussie all the time today. There's all kinds of updates this morning, and so we're going to just talk about those on the Morning Night Live. So I'm glad you're here. Strap in, get ready to go, because we're going to jump right into it. Now, just if you weren't aware, Jussie Smollett took a vacation to Hawaii recently, and he recently when he was in Hawaii, he found out that the city of Chicago is suing him. But there's an interesting, another thing that's happened to him, that he's starting to feel the brunt of this little, what do we want to call it? A hoax that he has perpetrated. And so we're starting to see it's starting to affect his own personal bottom line. And maybe if the city of Chicago is successful, it's going to really hurt his bottom line. But here we go. Oh, good morning, Smarty Bear. Welcome. So apparently he's already losing gigs because of this particular action. Report says Jussie Smollett loses lead role on Broadway following alleged hate crime hoax. Jussie Smollett reportedly is out as the lead in a show on Broadway called Take Me Out, following his alleged hate crime hoax and trouble with the city of Chicago. The 36-year-old actor was reportedly being considered for a lead role that would have been his debut on Broadway in the Tony-winning drama, per the Daily Mail Tuesday. But sources with knowledge now tell the outlet he will no longer appear in the play, despite charges being dropped against the Empire Star. Probably because the Empire Star, he did it, and you know it. Good morning, Pink Aloe. Everything was set to go. I'm sorry, excuse me. Sorry. I think I might have to take a sip of my reparations coffee. Oh, you know what? I realized another thing. It's not the Morning Night Live unless we have da funk. So here we go. There we go. All right. Okay. This song's called Need to Get Drunk to Get Out of This Funk. Need to get drunk to get out of this funk. All right. So back to Jussie Smollett. Sorry for the aside there. Everything was set to go, and the producers were planning to announce that Jussie and Zachary Quinto were starring in the play last month, one Broadway insider said. Everyone was so supportive after the attack, and then suddenly, everything shifted. Poof. Shifted, the source added. Here's a kid who is on a hit television show, has made a name for himself, and gets the chance of a lifetime. Another source shared, he would have come off the 6th season of Empire and kicked off the next leg of his career with a role on Broadway. And not just that, the lead role in one of the best plays of the century in his Broadway debut, the insider said. Why on earth would he throw that all away? It all comes from after Smollett's alleged hate crime hoax and in light of him being sued by the city of Chicago after he failed to pay $130,106 for the cost of the city investigating the alleged hoax. So he's losing jobs already. That would have been, honestly, that is a Tony Award-winning show, and he would have been on on the lead role in a revival. He's losing big time money. That's that's some big time money. Good morning, all you need. I see you're there. So yeah, Jussie is already having some troubles on this because of his him being a dumbass. All right. Moving to the next one, and this is now I'm not going to read this whole interview, but this is Kim Foxx, who is the state's attorney in Chicago, also in the news. Now this is from yesterday. Kim Foxx wants us to look beyond the headlines to see the facts of the Jussie Smollett case. Oh, really? Does she now? Because apparently the facts were sealed when they dropped the charges, and they petitioned to have the facts sealed. Although what I'm hearing is they may be coming out when the city of Chicago proceeds with their civil case. So the facts will be coming out of the Jussie Smollett case, but she wants to tell her side of the story. Now, this is a source called The Tribe. It's a it's a paper or publication written for Black Chicago. That's what it says. Join the Tribe's mailing list and never miss a beat in Black Chicago. And this is written by someone named Tiffany Walden. Folks are being mad. Now, folks are big mad at Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx. I'm talking mad enough to protest outside of Fox's downtown Chicago office, chanting things like "Fox must go" and Blue Lives Matter, while enlightening black and brown organizers on why Laquan McDonald deserved to be killed by police. Really? I don't think they said a word about Laquan McDonald. Now, but that's a little editorializing by this particular magazine. Months ago, Fox wouldn't have guessed that she'd be under such scrutiny. In January, many Chicagoans applauded her decision to hold a press conference asking anyone with information regarding new sexual allegations against singer R. Kelly to come forward. She was being proactive, keeping one of many promises she made as a reformer against controversial Cook County State's Attorney incumbent Anita Alvarez back in 2016. But public attention shifted on January 29th. When news broke that the Empire actor Jussie Smollett was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack in Chicago's Streeterville neighborhood. Anonymous tips, rumors, police updates, and news headlines about Smollett's attack took over the 24-hour news cycle and flooded every social media channel. As an attorney for a victim of crime, Fox says, she got involved in Smollett's case. Really? That's not... What? Say what? That is interesting. Oh, as an attorney for victims, she's got involved in Smollett's... No. She did not... That's not... No. She was specifically asked by a friend of Smollett named Tiffany... What's her name? Tiffany Chen? I can't remember the woman's name. Who's the Obama's former advisor, who is also friends with the Smollett family, asked her to get her nose in there. Now, normally, and I was watching an interview by a cop, and I think I might even have that here today. We might even look at that one, but normally, the state's attorney doesn't get involved in the police work regarding such a crime. But she stuck her nose in it. Anyway, When Smollett's status changed from victim to suspect and police accused him of staging a fake attack, all hell broke loose. In February, Fox recused herself from the case. No, she did not. She pretended to recuse herself from the case. And on March 26th, the state's attorney office, run by Kim Fox, dropped all criminal charges against Smollett. His record was wiped clean. The scrutiny and calls for Fox's resignation went in full gear. I will petition the courts to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox and her mishandling of the Jussie Smollett case, Judge Sheila O'Brien wrote in the Chicago Tribune. Did our state's attorney really remove herself from this case? We have a right to know. Oh, we know that she did not. Mayor Rahm Emanuel called the dropped charges a whitewash of justice. The Fraternal Order of Police held a news conference demanding that Fox resign from her office. Meanwhile, Fox received overwhelming support from black leaders and writers in Chicago, including Rainbow Push, Lauren Washington from the Chicago Sun-Times, and Darlene Glanton from the Chicago Tribune. Now, let's just stop 1 minute here. Yes, she got support from Rainbow Push, Jesse Jackson's organization, where Jussie Smollett just so happened to have done his community service. But there are also plenty of black leaders in Chicago who do not support Miss Fox. In an April interview with Fox, she wants to share her side of the story. Read our interview with Fox below. Now, I didn't go through this whole interview, but I'm going to go down and we're just going to just find a snippet here. Let's just find one snippet. Just one. Good morning, Deck Tran. Good morning, Seamus Derby. Good morning. I said hi to Zombie Teddy, and who else? Some other people showed up. Let's see. Okay. And Tyler F. Good morning. Here's something. Can you talk about your office dropping the charges against Smollett? With your recusal, is that something that comes from you? How does that process work? Now, let's see if she tells the truth here. She says, most class 4 felonies don't come up to me for approval of what we do with the case. But Smollett is a public case. It's got interest, so I might have known about it in a regular scenario. But in this particular case, because I am recused, she never formally recused herself. Here's the thing. I'm going to stop right there with that bullshit. And I've been doing a little checking and research and reading about this. If she had recused herself, her entire office would have been recused. So it would have went to either a special prosecutor or a state's attorney from a different district would have been appointed to take the case. Her office still handled the case, and that's how Chicago works. As I'm learning and learning. Good morning, Faithless. So, she never recused herself because her office did all the work, and she just hid behind her associate state's attorney. Anyway, she says, because I'm recused, I'm not part of the decision-making process. I'm not part of the negotiations. I'm not part of any of that. I am told that the night before they are going to court about what's going to happen, and that's just for information purposes. I don't have the authority at this point because I'm off the case. I'm not involved in the court date. I'm not involved in informing the folks. So then they ask her, in Smollett's case, who made the decision? It was our first assistant, my number 2, in consultation with the lawyers who are working on the case. Now, her first assistant, if you watched his interview and he was saying, nope, we dropped the case, but we fully believe that he was, that we could have convicted him. Why would the first assistant do? First of all, it wasn't even supposed to be in her office. Obviously, she never recused herself. That's the point. Next question was, the charges against Smollett were dropped, but that doesn't mean he was exonerated. Can you talk about that in detail? Because this is what I wanted to hear. I think a lot of people view that situation as Smollett walking away unscathed. I won't get into the evidence of it, but at the end of the day, Mr. Smollett forfeited his bond, which was $10,000 that he had to forfeit. I think deferred prosecution is something most people don't know is available in Cook County. Not in felony cases. It's never happened in a felony case before. It's happened in misdemeanor cases, but never in especially 16-count felony cases. However, she continues, I would hope that the silver lining in this is for people who find themselves in our criminal justice system with class 4 felonies, recognizing that we don't always have to resolve things using jails and using traditional prosecuting methods. Under deferred prosecution, certain offenses, including a disorderly, can have a deferred prosecution. The other problem with this, it can have, I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. It can have a deferred prosecution in the felony cases, but the deferred prosecution also requires a guilty plea. At least in every other case that we looked up, that I've looked up on this, and there was a list of about 20 of them in this one article that I read, and the only ones that ended up with charges being dropped were misdemeanors. All the other deferred cases, in the felony cases, they all required the defendant to plead guilty, pay a fine, do a minimum of 30 hours of community service. Was the lowest community service I found in any of those was 30 hours. Okay. By the way, although my nickname is Lawyer Dog, I am not a lawyer. I only play one on the internet. Okay. And now this one, and so this is a lie too. Now see, okay, she's so full of shit. She's talking to someone who hasn't read anything. We don't always have to resolve things using jails, using traditional prosecuting methods. Under deferred prosecution, certain offenses, including a misdemeanor disorderly, can have deferred prosecution. What that means is rather than plead guilty, false. If you meet certain conditions, your case can be dismissed even without a plea of guilt. The condition can be restitution. Again, I'm telling you, misdemeanor cases, sure, no guilty plea. Felony cases, all required a guilty plea. So this case is unique to all other felony cases of disorderly. Under the statute, the maximum amount for restitution is $10,000. I'm not so sure about that either. And also under the statute, if you're not in jail, the mandatory conditions that you would have is community service. So I think for some folks, not admitting guilt or having a guilty plea feels like there's no accountability. When you look at it, having to forfeit that $10,000 bond and do community service is what's required under the statute. There's also a question of whether or not he did community service because he was, he was just working at a place that he was already a member of. So, and at this point, what service does Rainbow Push do for the community anymore? They're grievance grifters. They're fundraisers. They make money for Mr. Jackson. So anyway, and then they get into what about her. The rest of the article that I see is pretty much just a tongue bath interview where they let her. What do you think about criminal justice reform? What do you do this? What do you do that? I don't care about that. I want the truth about this case. And since she's apparently all the evidence is sealed, we're not going to hear about that until the civil case gets into court. And guess what? That civil case probably will be televised because the city of Chicago just can't wait. Unless, of course, Jussie eventually settles with the city. Either way, he's going to have to prove some. There's going to be some liability on his part. So, all right, moving on. More, but like I said, it's Jussie Wednesday. I got way more stuff. Guess what? Now, this is the little I accidentally gave you a little preview of this. Hey, Jussie Smollett's one of his racist, homophobic attackers won a boxing competition in Chicago. Remember I showed you a couple weeks ago that Abel Azadero won in the semifinals of the Chicago Golden Gloves boxing competition? Well, he also won the championship subsequently. Smollett attacker wins Chicago boxing competition. Hopefully this beatdown wasn't staged too. One of the Nigerian brothers Nope. They got it wrong. They got it wrong again. One of the American brothers of Nigerian descent. They are American citizens. They were born in the U.S. and they are Americans with Igbo names. Anyway, one of the American brothers that the Empire actor Jussie Smollett allegedly paid to fake a racist homophobic attack on him. I forgot. I was going to ring the bell for racist homophobic today because I want to see how many times we hear that in these articles. Gay Tupac has won the Chicago Golden Gloves amateur boxing tournament. Ambibola, also known as Abel Asendero, who allegedly took $3,500 from Smollett to help stage the January 29th incident, took home the senior novice division title Friday night following a technical knockout in the first round. He beat that motherfucker's ass, according to the Chicago Tribune. The division is for less experienced boxers between 21 and 35 years old who weigh 178 pounds or less. Smollett allegedly hired Abel and his brother, Alabinjo Ola Osendero, to rough him up and put a noose around his neck in order to drum up sympathy for himself, but instructed Abel not to hurt him too badly and give him a chance to appear to fight back, according to a court filing in the case. Remember I said if the story actually went as Jussie Smollett said, I think Abel would have knocked him the F out. Because his trainer says that he has that punching power, that right hand. If you've seen him hit, we showed some video. We might show some video at the end just to get a good laugh at who Gay Tupac actually had to fight. Wait, he has Ebola in his name? No. Wait, no. Okay, so his name is Abimbola. Not Ebola. Abimbola Abel Asendero. I don't know if that might be Igbo. It looks like an Igbo name. The only reason I know is because I'm part Igbo. Anyway, Abel, we did that. Police arrested the brothers on February 13th to cut them and then cut them loose 2 days later after interviewing them. The cops later charged Smollett with faking the incident, then suddenly dropped the charges. Blah 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 blah. So this is the dude. Who made a racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett. Hello, Johnny Hellcat. What's happening? Alrighty then. Let's see. Moving on. Hey, now, also, by the way, there's a comedian, Lonnie Love, who's on one of those stupid talk shows. I think it's called The Real. Apparently, Jussie Smollett actually confided in her a little bit. So we're going to read a little bit about that. Comedian Lonnie Love tells what Jussie Smollett confided in her. Emmy Award-winning comedian Lonnie Love said disgraced Empire actor Jussie Smollett reached out to her and other celebrities, asking them to go public on his behalf. Morning Necro. Love said during a recent episode of her show, The Real, that she talked to the actor for over an hour and a half when Smollett asked her to divulge a message to the public, according to a BET article Tuesday. I didn't know. Oh, third Asendero speaks out in Smollett. I'm going to just open a little tab on that. I didn't see that one. He said that he was reaching out to people who showed love and support. Love said, her name is Love. He said that I can ask any question I wanted. I was there not to judge him. I just wanted to listen to what he had to say. Love originally tweeted over the weekend about a phone call and promised to let the public know that Smollett will break his silence soon. That's her tweet there. He said that he wanted to find out how the public felt. Well, they feel like you're a lying, cheating bastard. And she said, so that's why I put out the tweet. Not putting out the tweet as a scoop and all this. This is something he asked me to do. Smollett is alleged to have staged a racist and homophobic hate crime against himself, along with 2 other men he allegedly paid to beat him up outside a Chicago subway restaurant and yell, "This is MAGA country!" Charges against Smollett were dropped by the city of Chicago early this month due to Smollett's minimal community service record in a decision that prompted outrage throughout the city. All right. And then he lost his role in that Tony Award-winning show. Sorry, Jussie. Sorry you lost your role in the Tony Award-winning show. All right. Now, really weird about this is when I clicked that. Okay, that's the third. Now I'm going to ask. I know that I go to the guy from Hot Air. The Smoke Room is a offshoot of Hot Air, which is an online kind of blog news site. And it was weird because I saw this article, and then I also found this article with a different byline, Daniel Rolfe, but then down here it said William Davis contributor. They copied and pasted the entire article, including the tweet. I wonder if they know that they did that. I thought that was weird. But let's look at the article that I didn't know about, and I'm just going to read it cold. There's a third Ocasio brother, and he spoke out on the Smollett case. Let's see. I'm reading this cold, folks. I didn't even see this one. A third Ocasio brother spoke out Wednesday on the Jussie Smollett case after a local television reporter tracked him down. The unnamed and previously unidentified third brother said that he was happy after charges were dropped against the Empire actor. What? Let's find out why he was happy. I don't get it. CBS Chicago reporter Charlie Del Mar, I like Charlie Del Mar, was able to track the man down and was able to obtain a comment. Oh, okay. Well, let's just hear if this is, let's see.
They're good. They're all right.
Okay. Do you believe your brothers, their story of it all?
Story about what?
That your brothers were, hired and, paid by Jussie to go along with all this.
I don't have no comments. They can speak on their own. They can answer if they need to. I have to go, though.
Okay.
Okay, so that's nothing. Got nothing out of that one. And then let's see. I'm happy. Okay, and then let's look at the second one here.
They're good. They're all right.
Okay. Do you believe your brothers?
Oh, no, we already did that one. Let's see the other one. Is this the same thing?
Do you want to say anything, man?
I have nothing to say right now.
Okay. Were you surprised that the charges were dropped on Jussie yesterday? No comment? What's this been like for you and your family?
I'm happy for him, though. That's a good thing.
You're happy for Jussie?
I'm happy for everything.
Okay, how your brothers handling it all?
They'll comment.
Okay, so this is a nothing burger.
But for you, this has been a lot on your family, I know.
I'm sorry?
This has been a lot on your family, I know.
It's okay, though.
All right, he didn't know anything. He done blah blah blah. Okay, never mind. Don't care. That's probably why I didn't know about it, because I wasn't looking for that. Now, so anyway, kind of related. I found this article from the Detroit News. Someone named Nolan Finley. America's hate crime surge is a hoax. I found this interesting because I think I read about this professor at Kentucky State, and he's been doing research on hate crimes in the U.S., and he's actually writing a book about it, or wrote a book about it. And so I thought this was just kind of a relevant article here. So here it goes. It's been repeated so often that it's taken as fact. Hate crimes have soared over the past 2 years, and the blame rests with President Donald Trump and supporters inspired by his hateful rhetoric. It's a compelling story, supported by statistics that show an increase of 17% in the number of hate crimes reported to the FBI during the Trump presidency. Wow. Where have I heard that before? But it isn't true. The surge has little to do with Trump and his Red Hat Brigade. This, according to Will Riley, a Kentucky State University associate professor who extensively researched hate-fueled violence in America for his book, Hate Crime Hoax. Almost all of that surge is due to the simple fact that in 2017, the number of police departments reporting hate crimes to the FBI increased by over 1,000. I added the over, even though it says by 1,000. Says Riley, the surge narrative is pretty dishonest and destructive. The perception that hate-filled mobs are roaming the streets and attacking minorities, gay and transgender people, and other vulnerable citizens in the name of Donald Trump keeps us on edge and makes us distrustful of our neighbors. It also creates a gullibility that allows us to believe things we shouldn't know aren't true. Or things we should know aren't true. Like Jussie Smollett's ridiculous tale of being attacked by two MAGA hat-wearing thugs on a frigid Chicago street. Before the actor's whopper unraveled, it was widely parroted by media too eager to believe anything that confirms its conviction that America is boiling with hate. Smollett's fake hate crime is not a one-off. Riley's research finds that most high-profile hate crimes over the past few years have turned out to be hoaxes. Hey, hoax? Yeah, hoax crimes. There you go, Faithless. Hoax crimes are on the rise and skyrocketing. Riley studied 409 reported hate crimes over the past 5 years and received media attention. They included incidents such as the racist graffiti at Eastern Michigan University and the minority woman in Grand Rapids who claimed a group of white men urinated on her. In major cases, almost all of them have been hoaxes, Riley says. The number of hate crime hoaxes actually exceeds the number of convictions. The majority of these high-profile incidents never happened. It's also a false narrative that white cops are targeting African-American men, Riley says. In 2015, he says, of the 1,200 Americans killed by police, just 258 were black, and only 17 of those were unarmed and shot by white officers. And yet, his research indicates that just 10% of the media coverage of police violence focused on the non-black victims. White guys shot by police under identical circumstances never became national stories, Riley said. The distorted coverage has helped give rise to social movements such as Black Lives Matter that are based more on perception than reality. That's interesting. I can't argue with any of this. By the way, Riley, or see, what's his name? The professor's name is Will Riley. Will Riley's black. And Kentucky State University is a traditionally black college or university, whatever that's called, HBCU, historically black college and university. It's worth noting that interracial crime is not a huge threat in America, says Riley, who is African American. 85% of whites are killed by other whites. 94% of blacks are killed by other blacks. And it's a tragedy to me because, unfortunately, the number one cause of death of young men in the black community is murder. And it's not even the top 10 for any of the other races. So that's a really sad fact. I mean, we're killing each other. It's just sad. Americans may be politically divided, but they aren't taking their disagreements to the streets, nor have they created a dangerous environment for certain groups of their fellow citizens. Portraying America as a hate-filled country is wildly inaccurate, Riley says. So that's a fascinating little aside to this fake hate crime that Jussie Smollett perpetrated. There's a whole website full of fake hate crimes. I might even highlight some of those one of these days, but it's just annoying to me. What it does is make people distrust other people and live their life scared when the statistics don't even bear out that it's, the problem is every one of these things is inflated so much. So it drives me nuts. Speaking of this cycle, hate crime, crazy shit. I'm sorry, I can't hardly read. Did you see the video of Candace Owens getting just nothing but... I'm sorry, torn apart by fucking Antifa and all these little rich white fucking kids. Yeah, I saw that. We'll pop in there. Let me check this super chat real quick. Hi, Cynical Lindsay. Good morning. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, with the $5 via Streamlabs. Hit that like button like it's Rodney King. Oh, and he says you might want to disavow that. Disavow! Yes, by the way, that reminds me, and I'm not really good at shilling. I'm trying to get better at it, but you know what? My efforts are there. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, right down here, hit that share arrow and share this out via Twitter or Facebook or Reddit or Tumblr or what else is there? Email it to your mom. Say, Mom, watch this show. It's interesting. Also, while you're here, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. Now, the one thing about the like button, and I was thinking about this because a lot of times I would hit the like button because YouTube used to automatically put on Twitter for me that I liked this video and it would post the link to the video. But it doesn't do that anymore. So it's harder to grow. So the like button is great for interaction, or you can come back and do comments later. But in order to share the videos, you actually have to hit that share button and share it out. So if you want to help creators out, that's a great way to help us out. Share the thing, and maybe other people will watch it, and then maybe they'll join us in the chat one day, and they'll be arguing with you instead of whoever you argue with now. And it makes it more fun for everybody. So hit the share button. Also, we do super chats on this channel, but not through YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers to be monetized. So there is a link to the Streamlabs link down below where you can either do donations or get super chats read during the show. So thank you so much. All right, moving back to here. All right, let's see. I'm going to start closing some windows here. The ones I've already read. I got rid of that. Got rid of that. That's the one I'm on. Now, this is Sarah sent me an article. Now, Chicago's kind of a messed up place. Obviously it's quite corrupt. And there's this is one that Sarah sent me this morning, and I'm just rubbing my head going, really? But you know what? This could, if it happens, it could create an interesting problem. Politicians look to separate Chicago from Illinois to create a 51st state. Man, all these flipping states and talking about breaking up and stuff. Donald Trump, what did you do to this country? Donald Trump, that's your fault, brother. All right, not really. But anyway, according to Fox News, the so-called second city may eventually become the next state after frustration regarding Chicago's influence over politics in Illinois. Now it's Republicans who want to secede from Chicago. The Republicans want to secede from Chicago. A group of state Republican lawmakers recently signed onto legislation proposing the nation's third largest city become the 51st state. It's more of a frustration of the policies than the true belief that Chicago and Illinois would be better off as separate states, Representative C.D. Davidsmeyer told The State Journal Register, I don't believe that Chicago and the state of Illinois should be separated. Our relationship is mutually beneficial. Davidsmeyer said that he co-sponsored the legislation to spark a discussion. We're just sparking a discussion here about how the city's politics impact rural residents in downstate Illinois. The reality is the city of Chicago is competing with New York City and LA and San Francisco, and downstate is competing against rural Indiana and rural Missouri, he told the State Journal Register. The policies that come down from Chicago are actually pushing our economic opportunity away. Forming a new state, sorry, I had something in my eye here. Okay. Forming a new state from a portion of a current state requires endorsement from Congress and the state legislature, according to the U.S. Constitutions. I'm going to skip this part. Okay. The bill H.R. 101 was introduced in February by State Representative Brad Hallbrook, who said that he supports removing the city of 2.7 million people from Illinois because of differing views on issues such as abortion and gun rights. Our traditional family values seem to be under attack at every angle, Hallbrook told the Journal Register. We are trying to drive the discussion to get people to the table to say these are not our values down here. So it's just, it's the city kids versus the country kids. They're probably sick. I thought maybe they were just sick of the corruption in Chicago and finally said enough is enough. But because Chicago is so large, it definitely dominates the politics of the state. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yes, it does sound like some 80s music. Strap on some skates and go down to the roller rink. Yeah, see, I was at the roller rink in the 70s, so I was hearing things like the Bee Gees and Kiss and Queen and who's Jim Croce? Oh yes, and okay, I won't even go even farther than that. Okay, all right, so that's Chicago. Chicago might become the 51st state. I doubt it. That's not going to happen. All right, well, like we do on most normal days at the Morning Night Live, it's time for some Twitter trends. Let me see what my time. Oh, I'm doing pretty good on time too. So let's go check out the Twitters now, really quick. I'm gonna try to get back in the chat here. Let's see. Oh yeah, Okay, so I was talking about when you hit the like button, it no longer automatically. It doesn't. You can't set it up to automatically tweet out the fact that you like this video. And I don't know if it had a function with Facebook. I did it on Twitter. So whenever I like something, it would say, I like this video, automatically generated a tweet. 3 months ago, this is Piccolo saying, 3 months ago, YouTube announced they were no longer going to interact with Twitter in that sense, though, at all, unless you did it yourself. Yeah, you have to. That's why you have to hit the share button now. So, give Chicago to Canada. Can you do the same thing to Detroit, LA, New York City, and San Francisco? I feel bad for the rural parts of California and Illinois when cities have such a stranglehold on the state. Yeah, they really do. It's interesting in Minnesota. The Twin Cities area is. The metro area is about 3 million people total. It's the metro, not just Minneapolis, St. Paul are like 350,000 and 200,000 by themselves. But then you add all the suburbs around the greater Twin Cities, and it's about 3 million people. And then the rest of the state, so it kind of dominates the rest of the state. Is that right? 3 million? That's probably about right. But for some reason, there's enough population in the outstate that there's a lot more power outstate still. Now that's changing as the Twin Cities continues to grow, but there's a lot of like mid-sized cities around the state that kind of balance that out. And unfortunately too, Minnesota's always been dominated by, it's called they call the Democrats here what is it? At DFL, Democrat Farmer Labor Party. So they kind of embrace all the rural farmers and the people who live in the Twin Cities, and so they've had a stranglehold on the state for a long time. Although there have been a few Republican governors over the last, since I've lived here. I've lived here 30 years. Anyway. All right. Let's get into Twitter trends because I want to see, every day we try to find out what's happening in the world and what people are going to be talking about later in the day by looking at Twitter trends. And I still don't have Twitter trends music, but guess what? We still look at Twitter trends. Now, before we do that, we had a preview yesterday from everyone's favorite Shrek character, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She gave us a little preview. I mean, she foreshadowed something that's going to be happening today. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what it is that's happening today. But here's what she tweeted yesterday. Surprise. For months, we've been working on a very special and secret Green New Deal project. Now it's ready to drop tomorrow morning. Here's a sneak peek. Let me guess. Now then I saw these pictures. Okay, so there's that. A green piece of paper. Now this is funny because everyone's using. There's some people who are going to take this and green screen it with something, and I just thought of doing that myself. I might have to do that today. So we got Green New Deal with some paint, and that's what I was saying. Faithless. What are they coming out with a Green New Deal coloring book? Oh, decade of the Green New Deal. Leave no one behind. Oh, okay. Maybe it is a coloring book. Yeah, they're going to kill everybody. This is the black woman injecting the old white woman with cyanide. Sorry. Okay. And there she is, smiling and talking to somebody on the radio. Okay, and then, and there she is. Okay, those pictures really give me no idea of what they're gonna drop. But today is tomorrow morning. Miss Cortez. I even checked her Twitter this morning to see if there's anything really new on here, and there's nothing new. Okay, wait a minute. Nope, that's something else. Something from the Intercept. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, good Lord. Hang on. Here it is. Here's what they're dropping. I'm going to turn this up. If there's music, I'm going to be pissed.
Up to that point, it was a critical the bullet train from New York to D.C. It always brings me back to when I first started making this commute.
Is this really what she dropped? Oh, I got a little. What's going on here? I'm buffering. Hold on. Oh no, the media could not be played. What the hell? Did they drop this already? Okay, let's try it again.
The bullet train from New York to D.C. It always brings me back to when I first started making this commute. In 2019, I was a freshman in the most diverse Congress in history. Up to that point, it was a critical time. I'll never forget the children.
Oh, it's not letting me do it in full size. I'm sorry.
Community. They were so inspired to see this new class of politicians who reflected them navigating the halls of power. It's often said, you can't be what you can't see. And for the first time, they saw themselves. I think there was something similar.
Hang on, we're gonna.
We knew that we needed to save the place.
Let's watch the YouTube version, because it's this hoe. Hang on. This is her special. It's a 7-minute message. I'm gonna stop it here and there. Hang on. God, hang on. Let's change it to YouTube. Let's put this out here.
The bullet train from New York to D.C. It always brings me back to when I first started making this commute. In 2019, I was a freshman in the most diverse Congress in history. Up to that point, it was a critical time. I'll never forget the children in our community. They were so inspired to see this.
Children. Never forget the children.
New class of politicians who reflected them navigating the halls of power. It's often said you can't be.
I got a feeling some of them won't be navigating those halls after 2 years in Congress. Some of them are very unpopular, and I got a feeling that many of them are going to primary. Now, I don't even necessarily want them to be gone because can't keep track of if you don't know where they are. But yeah. Anyway, I'll let this crap continue. Hang on, I shouldn't call it crap. She is inspiring. You could finish that sentence. No, I'm sure she's inspiring some young kids somewhere, and I don't mind. I think it's great that there is. I think it's great that there is diversity in our legislature. The problem except I don't want diversity of. I don't think I want diversity of thought, and I want sane people. I'd be happy if all these freshmen, at least the 3 freshmen that get all the attention, if they were sane. But the problem with them is they've become human shields for themselves and for their ideas. Because if you do not agree with them, if you criticize them, if you say anything that doesn't mesh with what they want their agenda to be, you are a racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, dirty son of a bitch. Anyway, let's go. I'm going to keep listening.
What you can't see. And for the first time, they saw themselves. I think there was something similar with the Green New Deal. We knew that we needed to save the planet, and that we...
And this savior complex they have about the planet. I gotta find a scientist to interview, because here's what I want. My next project, I think, is I want to take the claims every time someone says that all the scientists agree. I want to take the acclaim that immediately preceded that statement and find out if all the scientists agree. Because the only survey there's ever been about these scientists agreeing has been the one where they sent out a survey and there was less than 1% response rate to the scientists that sent it back, but the ones who sent it back said yes, the planet, the climate can be affected by carbon. That's the only thing it answered. But it seems like these people say that the scientists agree about everything. All the scientists agree that we're going to all die in 12 years. The scientists agree if we don't do something today, we're all going to, the Miami will be underwater in 15 years. Of course, Al Gore said Miami would be underwater. Let's see, what is 2019? I think he said by 2012 or something like that. And hasn't been a significant rise in sea levels. But anyway, let's continue with Miss Ocasio-Cortez.
We had all the technology to do it.
No, what a lie. What a lie. No, we don't. There are not technologies to do, unless she's talking about 4th generation nuclear power, which we don't hear a whole lot about. It's the new type. 4th generation nuclear power is the kind of plants they've been building in other parts of the world that kind of reuse the nuclear waste or recycle it and use it. And it's an emerging technology, and I think it could be a big solution to. It can be a big solution to our energy needs. But anyway. All right, here we go.
We're scared. They said it was too big, too fast, not practical. I think that's because they just couldn't picture it yet. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with how we got here. 1977, New York. A senior scientist named James Black made a presentation about how burning fossil fuels could eventually lead to global temperatures rising 4 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Within 2 years, one of the world's biggest supertankers was outfitted with a state-of-the-art lab to measure CO2 in the ocean, gathering more data about global warming. Guess who's doing all of this research? ExxonMobil, the oil and gas company. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the big... Now, look at that. Look at that dude. Now, that's what you call a fat cat. Interesting thing. What did he say that guy's name was? What was his name?
Could eventually lead. Senior scientist named James Black made a presentation about how burning fossil...
James Black. Let's look up James Black real quick. I don't want to take this long on this. Maybe we can do this as a separate video. James Black. Here. There, James Black, global warming. I'm gonna look up. I'm not gonna do this now, but we're gonna look up what some of James Black's predictions were, and see how many of them came true. I'm just curious. Kind of like how, or better yet, let's just go straight to the number one source, the absolute definitive sourse on the topic of global warming, the movie by Albert Gore called An Inconvenient Truth. I'm going to go back there and see what predictions. We're going to do that. That's not today, not now, not this moment, but we're going to eventually. And we're going to go through all his predictions and see which ones have actually occurred.
And that we had all the technology to do it.
Wait, did I miss something? Not this one. I want the YouTube one. Hang on. I was on YouTube. Where is it? Here we go. Oh my gosh, she just drives me insane. She's such a demigod. Let's see, get to where, okay, back to the fat cat.
Knew this whole time, as did our politicians. 10 years later, James Hansen, NASA's top climate scientist.
James Hansen, the fraud. Oh my God.
Told Congress he was 99% certain that global warming was happening and caused by humans. That was
99% certain. Oh boy.
It's 1988, the year before I was even born. So did Exxon listen to the science, including their own? Did they change business?
Wait, why is she only singling out Exxon? That's interesting. See, she wants to make Exxon the boogeyman.
Model.
Hey, remember when they said that when you criticize Ilhan Omar that you're inciting violence, you're inciting violence against a woman of color? I wonder, it'd be interesting to see after this video came out if there's any vandalism towards Exxon because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is criticizing Exxon and singling them out. That'll be interesting. Dawg Knight, Exxon didn't pay her, that's why. Yeah, you're probably right. Good morning, Evil One. I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't been looking at the chat. Good morning, Maniac Man. Who else have I missed? Anybody? Okay. If I missed you, shout out, and I'll shout you out too. Okay.
Invest in renewables? No, the opposite. They knew and they doubled down. They and others spent millions setting up a network of lobby groups and think tanks to create doubt and denial about climate change. It was an effort designed to attack and dispute the very kind of science they themselves had been doing. And it worked. Politicians went to bat for fossil fuels, and these massive corporations kept digging and mining, drilling and fracking like there was no tomorrow. America became the biggest producer.
You know what? Ooh, man. She is a propagandist. It's funny. I want you to go, if you have the time, go watch the video. There's a YouTube channel called Mr. Reagan, spelled just like Ronald Reagan. And he does about 40-minute video on where AOC came from. It's very interesting. It's funny. And what was really interesting is that the Young Turks talked about it and tried to play it off. In fact, the Young Turks usually ignore videos about things like this. And they've done 4 different videos attacking Mr. Reagan for this video, mainly because they say Cenk Uygur, the Justice Democrats, had a hand in creating this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez character. And the more I see from her, especially when she's scripted and she's in front of Congress and she has all the stuff written down and she's practiced her lines, how articulate and even though I disagree with everything she said, even when she's articulate, she always has this very practiced. She's kind of a Candace Owens. She's talking points. Her talking points are fantastic. Then when you actually try to ask her a question, she can't even talk. It's hilarious. Anyway, let's go. I'm spending way too much time on this. But this is very slick. This is written by somebody else. She has a whole team of people doing something, writing, and her skills at the skills at manipulation are incredible. I'm just fascinated by how well her team has made this character and knows how to get at people. Obviously, they're very savvy with social media.
World. Fossil fuel companies made hundreds of billions, while the public paid the lion's share to clean up their disasters. We lost a generation of time we'll never get back. Entire species will never get back. Natural wonders gone forever. And in 2017, Hurricane Maria destroyed the place where my family was from, Puerto Rico. It was like a climate bomb. It took as many American lives as 9/11. And in the next year, when I was elected to Congress, the world's leading climate scientists declared another emergency. They told us that we had 12 years left to cut our emissions in half, or hundreds of millions of people would be more likely to face food and water shortages, poverty, and death. 12 years to change everything.
She's really hitting this 12 years. 12 years are all going to die. We have 12 years to cut emissions in half. Now, if you have been paying attention to this whole thing, 12 years of just the United States cutting emissions in half would be like pulling one feather out of the pile of mattresses in The Prince and the Pea. Wouldn't do a thing. We're not. So she's just full of it. It's just right now. Even the people who say that carbon is the problem and we have the emissions is causing the climate change. Cutting our emissions in half in 12 years will do nothing, and that is a consensus among the climate. The climate alarmists. I'm not saying that there's not climate change. Don't get me wrong. Climate change is a fact, and the climate's been changing ever since the Ice Age. Like I said, I wish I would have made it, because I thought of this 10 years ago to make a T-shirt that said "Climate change ever since the Ice Age," or global warming. I'm sorry, global warming ever since the Ice Age. Oh, this is some slick shit, though. I'm telling you right now.
Around, how we fed ourselves, how we made our stuff, how we lived and worked.
Good morning, Richo.
The only way to do it was to transform our economy, which we already knew was broken.
Now, the other part of this whole Green New Deal thing, the transforming of the economy, this is like, well, my clothes are dirty. I'm going to go clean out the garage. That's my, it's completely, it's disconnected. Yes, I'm actually cleaning something, but my clothes are dirty. I'm going to go clean out the garage.
Since the vast majority of wealth was going to just a small handful of people, and most folks...
By the way, the vast majority of wealth was just given to those small part of people. You know what? I voluntarily gave my money to Microsoft because I bought a computer with some of their components. My money went right where I was expecting it to go. Okay, if I didn't want my money to go to those people, I would not give it to them. Okay, now granted, I got to drive my car, so I have to get gas and whatnot. So yeah, I'm voluntarily giving my money to the person who makes that gasoline. If they get wealthy out of it, hey, more power to them as far as I'm concerned. It's not. I voluntarily gave my money to them. If I didn't want to give my money to them, I would get a job that I could walk to or bike to and live a different way. Sure, but you know what? What am I don't. It's not like it's a. Before there were these computers like this one I got right in front of me, I didn't give my money to those people. I didn't want it. I didn't need it. Or my phone. You know what? I voluntarily gave my money to the person who made this phone. Okay? Now, more power to them. They made something that I really wanted. Okay? And so now they have the money that I paid for this phone. I voluntarily gave it, and they got rich off it. Okay, good for them. That's kind of how it works, you know. And if I want to make more money, I'll find, and I may either invent something myself, or I'll go get a job so that I can give my money to the people that I want to give to them because of the things that I want.
We're falling further and further behind.
It's funny, a lot of people fall further and further behind because I'm granted, there are some people who maybe need some help and whatnot, but we live in that society where everyone wants this phone right now and didn't save up to buy it. I paid cash for my, well, No, I didn't pay cash for this phone, but I paid cash for things that I want. So I saved up rather than giving more money by financing or doing whatever. I decided, because I didn't want, when I bought my last truck, rather than I just waited until I had the money to buy that truck, and I paid cash for it. And so I wasn't giving my money to the bank. I was giving the money to the person I bought the truck with. I voluntarily gave my money to the person I bought the truck from. Didn't even have to give it to the bank because I didn't pay interest on that truck because I paid for it cash. I saved for a long time and bought that truck. I voluntarily gave my money to voluntarily give my money to the person who makes the gas that goes in my truck that makes those 1% people rich. Okay. I could go figure out how to make gasoline for myself and go through a lot of time, but hey, I voluntarily gave to someone else because I needed gas. Or I bought my TV. I voluntarily gave my person from someone who named Samsung and bought my TV. And so they become rich because a lot of people like to voluntarily give their money to people who sell those TVs. I voluntarily give my money to Walmart when I want to buy something there because they found a way to make something, the underwear that I buy there, a little less expensive than it is at Target. So I voluntarily gave my money to the Walton family. Just how it works.
It was a true turning point. Lots of people gave up. They said we were doomed. But some of us remembered.
Really? Who's saying we're doomed right now? You're saying we're doomed. You can't sell your Green New Deal without trying to scare everybody and say they're doomed. We're all going to be, you're going to kill everyone. You're going to kill people if you don't do this. If you don't do what I say in 12 years, you're going to be killing people. Wow, that's a pretty scary
As a nation,
proposition.
we'd been in peril before. The Great Depression, World War II. We knew from our
You mean the Great Depression that was prolonged by Roosevelt's policies? That you're trying to pattern this Green New Deal off of? I may never get to Twitter trends today if I keep this up.
history, how to pull together to overcome impossible odds. And at the very least,
I find humor that they colorize some of these images that were something else. Although my grandmother worked in a bomber plant during World War II, so my grandmother was this lady, this lady right here. She actually worked in a bomber plant, which was a pretty kind of a cool thing as far as just thinking about my family and things that happened.
owed it to our children to try. The wave began when Democrats took back the House in 2018, and then the Senate and the White House in 2020.
Yeah, fat chance. Fat chance.
The decade of the Green New Deal, a flurry of legislation that kicked off our social and ecological transformation to save the planet. It was the kind of swing for the fence ambition we needed. Finally.
What's amazing is so for example, all those countries that signed that Paris Accord back that we dropped out of when Trump became president, the only country that I think came anywhere near their goals was the country that dropped out, the United States. You're not going to create technologies by people who are countries that practice socialism or communism or whatever aren't actual socialism or communism aren't actually the most innovative countries in the world. The innovative countries are the ones where people try to invent solutions for things that they think that are important. And so the wind turbine, I don't know if the wind turbine stuff was done here, but I mean, I'm just gonna keep going. The United States did everything. If the United States did everything the AOC wanted, and in 12 years the world ended, who would she blame then? Good point, because there's not really any turning around of the carbon. These the scientists I read, and these are even the global warming alarmists ones, saying that nothing's going to be effective for 100 years. That it's not going to be. Someone's going to come up with new technologies as we speak. Like I said, this fourth generation nuclear technology, I think will catch on if people stop being afraid of nuclear power. You would think that people trying to get rid of fossil fuels would be embracing new technologies like that, but there is such a negative connotation to anything regarding nuclear. And so I think we need to get over that if we're serious about getting rid of the coal-fired plants and things like that. But anyway.
We were entertaining solutions on the scale of the crises we faced without leaving anyone behind.
Funny. This
that
is such a
included Medicare for
propagandist.
All, the most popular social program in American history.
Now, this is incredible. Medicare for All. She's talking about the Green New Deal, but she's talking about how Medicare for All would make a change. Do you know anyone on Medicare? Do you think Medicare is free for the people who are on Medicare? Oh my God. And do you know how hard it is to find a doctor under Medicare? I mean, it's not easy. I get you're trying to help people with healthcare and the right of healthcare. There's no right of healthcare. You're not right. You never have a right to someone else's. You don't have a right to someone else's stuff. Okay. right. If we were all living in the jungle, you wouldn't have a right to health care, but you would have a right to bear arms. You could go to get a tree branch and use it as a club. Okay, you have a right to speak your mind to other people. You don't have a right to an education. You have a responsibility to become educated. Okay, so we make those opportunities available, and we say, I don't know if that's you have a right to go to school. Well, if we already provide it, maybe you have a right to go there, but you don't have a right to education. Just because we provide it doesn't mean you're going to get it. As we very well know, a lot of people don't get it. You have a responsibility to take care of your health and find a way to do that. Now, are there ways we can try to make it easier and less expensive, whatever? Sure, we can, but we're not doing those things now. Everything we've done so far has made it more expensive. And, it's funny, right to healthcare. You have a right to health insurance, whatever. Those people who believe you have a right to health care, well, you know what? Train some doctors and have some free clinics out there. Okay? A right is something that you can do on your own. You can go get that health care. I don't know. I'm not articulating this very well, but God dog.
We also introduced the Federal Jobs Guarantee.
Federal Jobs Guarantee. How do you guarantee someone a job? What if they don't want a job? What if they just want to sit in their ass? Or what if they just, they want to live simple life and don't want to have to work? It's weird to even talk about this when we have the lowest unemployment rate in 60, 70 years. Federal Jobs Guarantee.
Public option, including dignified living wages for work. Funnily enough, the biggest problem in those early years was a labor shortage. We were building a national smart grid, retrofitting every building in America,
Retrofitting every building in America. Do you know how much that would cost? Oh my God, you're stupid.
Trains like this one all across the country. We needed more workers. That group of kids from my neighborhood were right in the middle of it all, especially this one girl, Ileana. Her first job.
Okay, this is a fantasy story. I don't want to watch any more of this. I want to get. Let's just. I can't do it. I'll watch it later. Maybe I'll do a video on it. I don't know. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Hello, sorry, I'm back. I don't know what the hell I was doing there. That was me just wanting to leave this world. Okay, we're gonna do a few Twitter trends and I gotta get out of here. I might do a video on that. Holy crap. I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of videos done on that. Oh my God. What? Wait, what happened here? The new reactors aren't powered by plutonium or uranium that are highly enriched, having the greatest potential for melting down because they are so unstable, and also having the DOD decide to use those. Someone who says this Bed doesn't know about. Okay, I was just trying to read. Why is my chat so tiny? I'm gonna open up the one I can see. Holy crap! Oh, it's because of the light. I usually have. When you're nearsighted and have that reading issue, you need light in the place you are, and I just have the lights up here because it's rainy and cloudy in my here, and so my eyes aren't opening up and I can't see as well. That's an age thing. That's a boomer thing. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. All right. Let's just see the few top Twitter trending things. I'll bet you. I'm not even thinking about it. I got a feeling that Green New Deal is going to be something that's trending right now. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, now I can see it. I think both are shit. News reactions. Okay, now I can read that chat, but I'm not going to have it on. All right, let's get into. Oh God, people! I just can't take it. Where's my frippin'? There it is. Home. Let's get into Twitter trends. Oh, the Time 100. All right, here we go. Let's get into Twitter trends because I can't take that shit anymore. Trending number 1 right now is Bay also known as Beyonce. Apparently, she, while at Coachella, she also released a live album from her last year's Coachella performance called Beyonce Homecoming. Beyonce drops a new live album, Homecoming, alongside the documentary. Oh, great. Now, oh my God. And then Beyonce, loving Michelle Obama came naturally because of how she carried herself. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, more people are excited about Beyonce's new album. I couldn't give a rat's ass. So, but I not like Beyonce, but she's so overrated. I'm going to take hell for that one. But that's there. I said it. I said it. Yeah, I said it. She's overrated. Whatever. Trending number 2, the Time 100. All kinds of people are being featured in the Time 100. Oh my God, meet the movers and shakers on the list. Why is it only showing half? Nancy Pelosi, Gayle King, Mohamed Salah, he's a soccer player, The Rock, Taylor Swift, Sandra Oh. I always liked Sandra Oh as an actress. I can't remember the first show I saw her in. I think she was in, what's that show on Thursday night, the medical one? Grey's Anatomy. I liked her on that show. Let's see. Who are some of these? Taylor Swift, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Gayle King, Nancy Pelosi. Well, she's influential. I can't deny that she's influential. Mohamed Salah, I think he's a soccer player. Who else they got up here? Oh, let's just scroll through this. Lady Gaga. Okay. William Barr. Okay. He's the Attorney General. People love him. People hate him. Michelle Obama. Donald J. Trump. Okay. Those are the people you'd expect kind of on there. Oh, my God. Sorry. I really just yelled into the mic. Kamala Harris. Christine Blasey Ford. Oh, that's right. Kamala Harris. That's why I had that open. Kamala Harris, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's sacrifice out of a sense of civic duty shined a spotlight on the way we treat survivors of sexual violence, forcing our country to reckon with an issue that has too often been ignored and kept in the dark. You know what? I'm sorry, but... And I don't want to... I do not believe Christina Blasey Ford. Her story changed over and over. It didn't make sense. And the idea that she wouldn't remember how she got home is the part of the story that makes me say she's lying. Her interviews just did not... The interviews and the questions they asked her story kept changing. And none of the people that she said could corroborate it, all of them said they could not. So and I don't want to just... I think she... And the fact that she was a rabid anti-Trump person just makes me think that... I'm sorry, I don't believe it. So some of the replies to that swing and a miss, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even getting into her anymore. I don't care. It's not... Yeah, I ain't buying it. Sorry. All right, so other people, The Rock. Oh, God. AOC. Oh, my God. Well, she's... unfortunately, she is influential. That's a big, fat... Unfortunately. Why is Chrissy Teigen? Come on. Get out of here. Co-directors together. Emily Sutton and Orla O'Connor, along with founding member of abortion rights campaign Granny Griffin, have been included in Time's 100 list of 100 influential people in the world. Okay. Yeah, it's the usual suspects, plus a few people that they actually hate, but... oh my God, the president of New Zealand, or prime minister, what's her name? I can't remember the name. When terror set ripples and fear through communities around the world, New Zealand's Prime Minister proudly stood up for hope, unity, and inclusiveness in the face of fear and hatred by wearing a hijab. Okay, there you go. Joanna and Chip Gaines. So yeah, I you know what? It sounds like, just from the people they're putting on here, that they do have an interesting, legitimate list, because those people are influential, even if you like them or not. So there you go. Times 100 influential. And blah, blah. Top 100 influential. Let's see. Wednesday Wisdom is the first Wednesday topic of the day. Let's see what we got. At the top, Brian Quinn says, this is just one heartbreaking story amongst thousands you'll hear in South Africa. What's happening there needs to be brought to the world's attention before it becomes the next Rwanda. Now, there's a lot of people who do not want to hear the story of what's happening in South Africa. And I can't guarantee that everything I'm hearing is what it is, but let's get 2 minutes of this.
My brother-in-law,
all right, for some reason I can't. Probably
John Bosman was brutally murdered in this farmhouse 72 hours ago while putting up a brave fight to protect my sister. Who barricaded herself inside the house while these 3 intruders entered the house and shot my brother-in-law for a few electronics and for pure farm intimidation. Yeah, this is real. This is really happening in South Africa. The crime is out of control. People can't even have their basic human rights in South Africa at the moment. And that is safety. Thousands of South Africans are getting murdered. And this has to stop. I'd like you to please do something about this. So instead of just thumbing past this or feeling sorry for me, I'd like you to please, or feeling sorry for my family, I'd like you to please make a difference. I'd like you to please contact your local representative in government, state, wherever you are around the world. South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, England, America. I'd like the state of California to help step up. And I'd like you to all put pressure on the South African government to deal with crime. They have no control of what's going on here. So please keep my family in your thoughts and in your prayers, and all those that have suffered at the hands of violence here in South Africa. Senseless violence. Thank you. My name's Bradley.
So he was talking about the farm murders in South Africa. Apparently they're trying to so-called repatriate land or whatever. Hello, Demon Man. Nice to see you. And sorry about the music during that clip, but I'm just keeping the music going in case there's other music in some of these clips. It keeps me from getting content strikes. Yeah, man. Not a good situation in South Africa. They're trying. There's a lot of the farmers that have land are being murdered for their land, or they're taking land away from them if they're not. If they're they're leaving parts of their farms fallow, so that they can grow crops in the future. You have to let the land regenerate, and they're taking a lot of that land away from people. There's all kinds of things going on there that people just don't want to hear. And because we're in woke. The age of wokeness, you're not allowed to question what's going on in South Africa. So interesting. Another Wednesday wisdom: if you truly love America and find yourself agreeing with Cher for once, don't waste your money going to see a shrink because you heard her right as opposed to her usual left. That's a funny little tune there. Cher changed their tune from gypsies, tramps, and thieves to "But Not in My Backyard." Walls. Let's see. Here's one from the U.S. Army. I am America's soldier. I am a warrior. I'm a member of a team. I will serve the people of the United States and live Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. Army values, Wednesday wisdom. All right, that's a good Wednesday wisdom to finish on for that. Let's move on. I'll skip Wednesday motivation since we did Wednesday wisdom. Oh, jeez, what's going on with Columbine? Several Colorado schools were placed on lockdown due to a credible threat. Authorities are looking for an 18-year-old woman who has made the threat. She is believed to be armed and have an obsession with the Columbine mass shooting in 1999. Okay. Apparently there's a massive manhunt going on for her right now. This is a picture of her here. I'm going to put this up just so you can see who it is. This is the woman. She's obsessed with Columbine. It's only a couple minutes long. Let's hear.
This has become a massive manhunt.
This morning, every cop in Colorado is on the hunt for Saul Pais. The FBI says the 18-year-old flew from Miami to Denver Monday, immediately heading to a gun store.
She obtained a pump-action shotgun and ammunition. We considered her to be a credible
threat. That end right there. Oh no, I'm having buffering issues on that. Sorry, guys. Here, could not be done. Just a second here. Let's see if I can refresh and try it again. I apologize there. Let's just do it this way.
This morning, immediately heading to...
There we go. Come on. Wow, this is a first. I've never had trouble with internet issues. All right. Anyway, that's the woman that they're looking for. That's her with glasses. And then there's a picture of her without. Apparently, here we go. There's some pictures of her. Denver public schools and almost 20 other local school districts are closed as the FBI searches for the 18-year-old Saul Pais, a woman said to be armed and infatuated with the Columbine shooting. She just went up there from Florida. I don't know how she would have been able to buy a gun, but now, of course, every town is... Okay, they just retweeted without any comment. Okay. So they're searching for this woman. Hopefully they find her. All right, moving on. That's why Columbine's trending today, probably trending higher later in the day. National Haiku Day is also trending. Let's do this. Let's see if any good haikus in here. The first good one, I'm going to stop. Okay, here we go. Great. Okay. It's National Haiku Day. We're challenging you to write about the Great Lakes. We'll start. Well, that's because I live very close to the Great Lakes. Great Lakes, inland seas, Michigan's sparkling crown. Protect this treasure. Okay. Let's see if there's a really good haiku. Let's see. Trash the ocean. We must all make a change now. 1 pound at a time. Oh gosh, are they all going to be environmental? Are they all going to be? I want a funny one. Please put your phone down. Also put on your seatbelt. It's kinda the law. That's the Illinois Department of Transportation. Let's see. How about the Red Cross? A patient needs blood. Someone rolls up their sleeves and donates blood to help. All right, but okay. Yes, haikus are annoying. That's why I want a funny one. Wings for dinner, please. Tasty maple chipotle. Tots dipped in blue cheese. Okay. Oh, 60s Batman. This is going to be the last one. What a cagey bird. Watch for these fine feathered fiends. Wah, wah. Oh, wah, 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 wah. If you're familiar with the old Batman series, that's Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. All right, enough of haikus. Anything? All right, let's just try to find a couple interesting things before I go because it's already that time. Alan Garcia, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Oh, dude. Former Peruvian president Alan Garcia shot himself in the neck before being arrested by police. Reports say. Apparently he didn't kill himself though, or they would have said he's dead. But apparently he's in. Let's see. Oh, he did. Peruvian president since 2000. Fujimori in prison. Toledo hiding. Yes. Alan Garcia arrested. Commits suicide. Interesting. A lawyer for former Peruvian President Alan Garcia says the leader shot himself before being detained by police amid allegations he relieved illegal payments from Brazilian construction giant Odebrecht. So, interesting. Don't know a whole lot about him, but that's weird. Before I go, oh, that's more Beyonce. I'm not doing anything else Beyonce. Dark Phoenix, what is that? Don't know. Let's see. Trailer. Oh, a trailer for Dark Phoenix. Are you threatening me? That would be a bad idea. Jean's powers are unleashed in the new trailer for X-Men Dark Phoenix. Oh, a new X-Men movie. Okay. I'm not going to watch a trailer because every time I watch one, I get a strike. So there's a new X-Men movie. Probably, I think this one's all about Jean Grey. It's featuring like big deal on Jean Grey, and she kind of goes nuts, and so they got to figure out how to deal with her. All right. Christine Blasey Ford. I'm skipping. Alan Garcia. I'm skipping. Aaron Schock. Don't know. Carl's Jr. Hey! Carl's Jr., which is also Hardee's in some part of the country, is the first. What? Will be the first major food chain to sell a cannabis-infused burger. So, if you eat one of those, are you immediately going to want to eat another one? Oh, in Colorado, testing out a cannabis burger at a location in Denver, Colorado. It features a sauce infused with CBD or cannabis oil, a non-proactive hemp derivative. Wow. So it's going to be Carl's Jr. because they have Carl's Jr., not Hardee's in Colorado. Wow. Like I said, you eat one, you're probably going to want to eat another one really soon. That's hella marketing for that's how you sell some burgers, baby. Okay, Homecoming Live, Blue Ivy. I'm sorry, that has to do with Beyonce. I'm skipping. Kathy Kraninger, never heard of her. Let's see real quick. State's Attorney General and supervisors have commanded the work we've done on enforcement actions together. Multiple state AGs are urging for Military Lending Act enforcement. What? As CFPD Director Kathy Kraninger marks the 100th day of failing consumers. I don't know who she is. Why people are talking about her. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. Ruth Ellis. Okay, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's something to do with soccer. Ruth. Oh, this is interesting. Ruth Wilson Gilmore. Is prison necessary? Ruth Wilson Gilmore might change your mind. It's here. I can't wait to read this. It's a book by her. In 3 decades of advocating for prison abolition, the activist and scholar has helped transform how people think about criminal justice. I'm going to have to do more research, but apparently people are talking about it. One of the abolitionist North Stars profiled in the New York Times Magazine. Some things this profile captures well. The expressive argument, as academics would term it, prison sends a message about the disposability of life. We accept this everywhere else, blah, blah, blah. It's a thread. I'm not going to read it. We may be commenting on this one later. This is probably going to be a hot topic, but it's just catching on now. So that's oh my God. Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. We've had a fun day. We've checked out some Twitter trends. We learned about the latest of Jussie Smollett. And I may just be doing a impromptu stream this afternoon. After I finish watching that little Green New Deal color and paste cartoon video from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, because my head was going to explode if I'd have kept watching it. But hey, I got to thank you for being here today. We've had a lovely day at the Morning Night Live. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. Every day. Well, not every day. We're here Monday through Friday. Every day would include Saturday and Sunday. I'm occasionally here on Saturdays and Sundays, but not every Saturday and Sunday. But I am here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT for people in other parts of the world that are not America. And I really enjoy having you all in the chat, those who come every day, and even some of you who are here for the first time. If you're here the first time, make sure you subscribe right down there below and click that bell. Also, please help us out. You're the sponsor of the show. You can share this down there. You can make sure you hit the like button before you go. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you are so inclined, the Streamlabs link below where you can donate, or we do super chats through Streamlab also. Thank you so much. Oh, lightning, thunder. It's raining in Minnesota, or at least my part of Minnesota. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. And that's it for the show today. We'll be here again tomorrow at 10 o'clock. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.